This is the first lecture of the course Electronics Communication 3. This course will be dealing the different aspects of communication system, the different blocks which we used in the communication system, and how these blocks influence the performance of the communication system. So what is communication? Communication is defined as the process of conveying message from source to destination through a medium. The medium which we are calling is the maybe a wired medium or a wireless medium. Like in the case of a mobile, the radio link, or you can say the medium is the air. And in the case of let's say the information you are sending between landline phone to landline phone, then the wire medium is used there because we are using wires there. Source that originates the message, example human voice, television picture, or data is a source. This message must be converted into an electrical waveform known as baseband signal or the message signal using an input transducer. So what is it? What is the use of transducer here is it converts the energy from one form to another. So here the information may be in some other format, but the use of transducer on the input side is to convert it to an electrical signal or waveform. Transmitter, it transmits the baseband signals and it modifies it for efficient transmission. These are all are basically the blocks of a communication system, and it basically the use of transmitter is to make sure the signal which it is sending from one side, the receiver on the other side will be able to detect it properly. So what the transmitter does is it might do some amplification, it might do some modulation. These topics we are going to study one by one as we go through the course. What is a channel, or you can say the medium? So channel is basically a medium such as coaxial cable, a waveguide, a wire, a radio link, or an optical fiber using which the transmitter output is sent. So you can send the information from one point to another using a wire. So you need to connect from a wire between one side where you want to send the information to the another side, and maybe you are using air, like in the case of mobile communication through air. Optical, like the nowadays we are using optical fibers at home also, so there they use optical fiber to carry the information. Receiver, the receiver reprocesses the signal from the channel by undoing the signal modifications made at the transmitter. So whatever the changes brought by transmitter to the original signal, receiver reprocess them. When I'm saying reprocess means, so if the signal was doing amplification, it will do de-amplification. If it was doing modulation, it will do demodulation. We will study these topics in this course. The output of the receiver is fed to the output transducer, which converts the electrical signal to its original form. So suppose I have information in the form of mechanical energy or maybe some other form of energy. So now this receiver will send the information received by it to the output transducer, and the output transducer change it to its original form, or you can say the original form of energy, and it sends it to the destination where it is required. So destination is the unit to which message is communicated. Transducer, I already told you what's the meaning of transducer. Now if you see, this is the block diagram of the communication system. So you have a source. The source sends the information to the input transducer where it converts into the required form of energy. Then it goes to the maybe the electrical signal goes to the transmitter, where the transmitter may perform any of these operation or both of these operation, or there might be some other operations which we'll study in this course. And then it transferred the signal to the channel. Now in the channel there might be a possibility that noise is added or which leads to a distortion, or you can say that distortion is added. So the original form of the signal may be changed in the channel. Specifically, if we are using air as a medium, there are more chances of getting the signal distorted, or the addition of noise is possible. But if we are using wired medium, then it's more easy for you to send the actual information from one side to another. But wired medium cannot be used for long distance, and the reason, you need to lay down a cable from one point to another. Then we have a receiver. So whatever the transmitter made the changes, the receiver reverse those changes. The receiver then fed the output to the output transducer, and then it goes to the destination where it is required. Now there are some things which we need to know about this, that there is a term named as signal to noise ratio, because I told you that a noise is added to the signal while it is in channel. So signal to noise ratio, or the other way of saying it is SNR, is defined as the ratio of the signal power to the noise power. The channel distorts the signal and noise accumulates along the path. So how the thing happens is that you send a signal on the channel, and there might be some noise interference, or maybe some other forms of noises which goes into the channel, and they add with the actual information. So when a receiver receives, the signal to noise ratio must be as high as possible. So when I'm saying signal to noise ratio, if it's high, it means the amount of signal in the total information is high and noise is low. So signal to noise ratio must be as high as possible. The problem which you might have while dealing with this is that signal strength decreases with distance, while the noise level increases from the transmitter to the receiver. I missed the receiver here. From the transmitter to the receiver. Therefore, we can say that SNR decreases with distance. Therefore, amplification of the received signal to make up for the attenuation is of no advantage, because the noise will be amplified in the same proportion. So what it says that, suppose in order to recover the amount of attenuation happens in the channel, you try to amplify the signal while it's in the channel, the amplification will amplify the noise also. So the problem will be that you are actually amplifying the actual signal plus the noise. So now there are some other going to solve topics which we require as a basic electronics engineer, or you can say communication engineer. In this course, there are terms like gain, attenuations, and they are used in decibels. You can use gain and attenuations without any unit, or you have to use them in decibels also. And decibel is the standard unit for gain and attenuation. So what is a gain? Gain is amplification when a signal is applied to any circuit as an input Vi, and the output V out of the circuit is such that V output is greater than Vi. The circuit has a gain given by A, let's denote it by A, equals to V naught divided by Vi. So this is an amplifier. You are applying an input Vi, output is V naught, and V output is greater than Vi. So the gain is A is equals to V out divided by Vi. So suppose you applied input 1 volt and you are getting output as 5 volts, so your gain is 5 divided 1 by 1 equals to 5 by 1, or you can say 5 volts. No, sorry, it's a unitless quantity, so it will be 5 only. Most amplifiers are power amplifiers. So the power gain, denoted as AP, is equals to output power divided by input power. When two or more stages of amplification are cascaded, the overall gain is a product of the individual gains. So A total will be equals to A1 into A2. So when I'm saying the term cascaded, it means series. In series, if you place 2, 3, 4 amplifiers in series, then the overall gain will be the multiplication of their individual gains. Now what is attenuation? Attenuation is basically when the V output is less than Vi, or you can say a loss is introduced in the circuit. In attenuation, V output is less than Vi. Again, it's A equals to V naught divided by Vi, but here A is less than 1. Now, what is decibel? The gain or loss of a circuit is usually expressed in decibel, a unit of measurement. So decibel is equals to 20 log V output divided by Vi, or you can say 20 log A, or you can say 20 log I naught divided by I input. Now I and V represent here voltage and current of any circuit, and we know that power is equals to I square R, or is equals to V square R. So when you take, and I consider my R equals to 1, suppose R equals to 1 ohm, and you take the log of this thing. So when you will take the log, it will be 2 will come outside, so it will become 20. For this also, if R is 1 ohm, then it will be 20. So for power, the answer is 10 log P out divided by Pi, or you can say 10 log P output divided by P input. But when you convert the same gain to current or the voltage form, then it becomes 20A. So remember, when the power gain is given to you, you need to use 10 log AP or whatever P output divided by P input. But when current or voltage is given to you, you need to use 20. Okay. Now, if something is given to you in the form of, suppose a value is given to you here, let's say 5, and you need to find the value of P out divided by P input, or you can say power gain you want to find out, then you need to take the anti-log. So when you will take the anti-log works in this way: 10 raised to the power dB, whatever the value given in dB, divided by 10, and then you take anti-log of that. And another unit is dBm. When a decibel value is computed by comparing a power value to 1 milliwatt, then the result is a value called the dBm. So dBm is basically same. The only difference is that we are using power input as equals to 1 milliwatt. Examples. Now suppose this circuit is given to you, and the resistance R1 is equals to 200 ohms, R2 is equals to 100 ohms, V in is here, means input voltage is here, and V output is here. So using voltage divider, if we need to find the voltage here, it will be R2 divided by R1 plus R2 and the input voltage. Or you can say gain, if we need to find the gain here, is equals to A. You will take this V in here, V out divided by V in, it will be equals to R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So we don't know whether it's a gain or attenuation. Depending upon the value we are getting here, you need to say that it is gain or actually an attenuation. So this is attenuation equals to 0.333. It's a unitless quantity until you are making it change to decibels. Then it becomes the unit of, then it will be decibels. Now, as I told in the previous slide, that when you have 3 circuits in series, A1 is equals to 0.2, A2 equals to 0.9, A3 is equals to 0.06, and you need to find the overall gain, and the gain of this complete circuit. So you can say then it will be A1 multiplied by A2 multiplied by A3 is equals to 0.0108. Now if V in is, let's given to me as equals to 3 volts, and I need to find V out. So then we know that V out divided by V in is equals to 80, or you can say V out will be equals to 3 times of 80, or equals to 32.4 millivolt. Next question, we have one voltage divider circuit cascaded with another circuit of gain of 4 volts. So what will be the overall? So the gain of this part will be, again using this method here, will be equals to V out 1 will be equals to V in into 250 divided by 1000, means addition of these two. So you can say A1 will be equals to V out 1 divided by V in. I consider this voltage as V output 1 equals to 250 divided by 1000, or you can say A1 is equals to 1 by 4. Suppose we want to find the overall voltage gain of this circuit, then it will be A1 into A2 is equals to 1 by 4 divided into multiply 4, it will be equals to 1. Now another example, a circuit has two amplifiers with gain of 6.8 and 14.3 dB. Now the gains are given to you in dB, with two filters with attenuations of minus, this is 16.4 and 2.9 dB, means minus 2.9 dB. If the output voltage is 800 millivolt, what is the input voltage? So as we know, the total gain or attenuation is AT equals to A1, A2, A3, A4, means multiplication of both all these. I mentioned it here that A1 and A2 are gains of amplifiers, while A3 and A4 are gains of filters. So if I take, I'm just explaining you, otherwise I know that if something is in multiplication and you take a log of it, those things comes in addition. So take a log on both sides and multiply it by 20 of this equation 1. So we'll get this 20 log AT equals to 20 log A1 plus 20 log A2 plus 20 log A3 plus 20 log A4, or you can say, if you cancel this 20 on both sides, we can say AT equals to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4, because you can easily remove this log on both sides if you are taking a log of 1. Alright, so it will be 0.8 plus 14.3 minus 16.4 minus 2.9 dB. Okay, so will be equals to 1.8 dB. Now remember, when I just need to add something here, that that when we are using this as another gain now, so we need to denote this part log 10 A1 by another factor. Let's say A1 dash, then plus A2 dash plus A3 dash, and then A4 dash, and this will be 80 dash. So then it becomes equals to this. You can't cancel log from both sides, so it will be 80 dash equals to A1 dash plus A2 dash plus A3 dash plus A4 dash, and then you add them or subtract them. So 80 is equals to 1.8 dB. It's positive, you can say it's gain, and you need to find V output upon V in. You need to take anti-log of this, and then you divide it by 10, so it will be 1.23. And if you need to find the value of V out, because V in, you need to find the value of V in, V output is given to you here, 800 millivolt, then put the value here and divided by 1.23.
Now
We'll
fifth
get
question.
answer equals to 650.4.
On the same topic, millivolt.
An amplifier has a gain of 45,000 with an input voltage of 20 microvolt. What attenuation factor is needed to keep the output voltage from exceeding exceeding 100 millivolt? Means my output should not be more than 100 millivolt. So we are assuming that we have two circuits in cascade to each other with gains or attenuation, because we don't know, equals to A1 and A2. So AT is equals to A1 into A2. Okay, so the output gain will be V out divided by V in. Now how it came into the picture, it's here. If I say A1 into A2 and I say this is V in goes to the input of first circuit, the output of the first circuit will be V out dash, which goes as an input to the second circuit, and the overall output is V out. Then we can say that A1 into A2 is equals to V out dash divided by V in into V out divided by V out dash. So this V out dash will be cancelled with each other. So we can say V out upon V in is equals to overall voltage gain. So that will be equals to, we know the values here, 20 microvolt here, and the output is 100 millivolt. So you can say it is equals to 5000. Okay, so if we need to find A2, then we know that 45,000 into A2 equals to 5000. So you can say A2 will be equals to 1 divided by 9 equals to 0.1. These are the questions which you need to do, and if you have any problem you can put it on the group and I'll answer it. The remaining things about this course is that there will be 3 tests and a lab report which you need to submit together with a report for the course, maybe any topic of your choice, and you have to work on a software ADS, which I'll make available to you in a week time. Okay, the test 1 will be of 10%, test 2 will be of 15%, lab report will be of 20%, the normal report on which you have to write on a certain topic will be of 5%, and your FISA, the final informative summative assessment, will be of 50%. Okay, the first test will be probably somewhere in the end of March, and it will be online. In that test there will be some objective questions and some fill in the blanks next time, and there will be some long questions also, which you have to solve and submit on the blackboard. Thank you.